Somebody has tweeted me, I can't find it right now, but he said, remember Fernando Torres? He went from Liverpool to Chelsea and flopped. The same thing will happen to Kane. Based on what logic? And by the way, if being a flop means that you win an FA Cup final with Chelsea, I think they beat Spurs 5-1 in the semi-final. Actually. Champions League winner with Chelsea. He even scored in the Europa League final that he won with Chelsea. I mean, if Spurs win a Europa League, a Champions League, an FA Cup, you can call Spurs flops? No, I don't think so. Let's deal with facts, shall we? Connor's a Chelsea fan. What do you think, Connor? You're on talkSPORT.
Hi guys, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, good. I think, although it sounds absolutely bizarre, he fits us perfectly. A physical centre-forward, like we had in Drogba, like we had in Diego Costa, except Harry Kane is just going to guarantee you 20 goals a season. And I'd like to get your thoughts on it, but with Pulisic and even Ziyech putting balls into the box, could you imagine him being up front for Chelsea? It would be absolutely incredible.
Well, you've got loads. You've got James, you've got Hudson-Odoi, you've got Pulisic, you've got Ziyech, you've got Mount.
He'd score maybe 30 goals.
All quality. And I think the only thing they're lacking this season is, obviously, Tammy has had some injuries, hasn't he, throughout the year, and he doesn't look as though Tuchel wants him in the starting 11. Giroud, I think, is 100% going to be off at the end of the season. So one player they're going to be in the market for is a centre-forward. And when you look at the ones out there, whether it be Haaland, whether it be Kane, they're going to be the more sought-after players. And if both of them, Dortmund look like they're missing out on Champions League football, and if Tottenham miss out on European football, full stop. You remember last year celebrating getting into Europa League?
At Palace, yeah.
Right. Well, listen, there might have been something in it then, but Harry Kane has got written in if they don't finish in Europe positions, but there is a price he can leave for. We don't know.
It's a great point, actually.
It is. If you were doing all these new contracts which you've done, which has benefited Harry Kane, by the way, and it's benefited Tottenham because he gets more money, and Tottenham then, if to sell him, they can put a price on it, which they've done. Some players don't do it, but I'm sure Harry Kane's management have got a figure written in there for different scenarios.
They know his worth.
The top agents do it, exactly.
And they wouldn't be celebrating getting into the Europa League, would they? They're more likely to be celebrating the fact that Harry Kane's got to stay.
For another year.
Yeah. Lee's a Spurs fan. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, hello, lads. Look, I've got a point to make. Can we go back and forward when I speak to you? Like, when I say something, can you come back to me? Don't just cut me off. Is that all right?
Well, that's we're waiting for you to say something.
Yeah, when you say something, if it's of interest, we'll come back to you, yeah.
Okay, that's what my wife said. Okay. Okay, right, lads. I think you're both great, right? Don't take this personal, but when are you both going to address the real issue here? Levy and Lewis have no ambition, right? We wouldn't. If Harry Kane left, we'd be gutted. We'd be gutted.
Rightly so.
But we totally understand why he's going. He's having to leave a club that he loves, that his family are settled round the corner. Kids go to the school round the corner. He has to leave somewhere that he loves, the fans, the club. He has to leave because Levy and Lewis do not match the same ambition as Harry Kane, and he has to go. He will go to Manchester United. He won't go to Chelsea for the fact of respect to Tottenham fans. 100% he won't. Right, he'll go to Man United. Right, all Levy and Lewis are interested in is profit for themselves. They've got no.
Let me just ask you this, Lee, because I understand your frustrations totally, but there's no way you can accuse them of lacking ambition when they built the stadium that they have built. No way whatsoever. And the Kane thing...
Yeah, but that brings them in more money. I think he's got a point there.
Yeah, but to make themselves more self-sustaining.
Yes, but the players' aid they've got. I mean, look at Mourinho. People are saying he's Mourinho, he's gone, he's coaches one way, which perhaps he does, because he's been a successful way of coaching. But he's trying to coach now players into the way he wants to play with players that are not good enough. And Harry Kane's probably looking back as a centre-forward and his players and said, right, I've got that behind me. I've got to score 3 to give us half a chance here. But
if you've got a strategy, a plan, and you're building a stadium and then you're building after that, it's just unlucky timing.
But Kane will be 35 then.
Exactly. That's just what I was about to say. It's unlucky timing with Harry Kane. They can't keep him young for the next 10 years. It's the way it is. Kieran's an Arsenal fan. What do you think, Kieran?
Well, I invented a song once. It said, Harry Kane is a gooner. He was at the town hall. Right? His family were all Arsenal season ticket holders in the past. Half his family, his English side, come from Islington. And only reason why Arsenal let him go when he was a kid, they said he weren't going to be tall enough.
Well, he ain't going to Arsenal, mate. It'll take you 20 years to pay transfer fee. You couldn't pay a Pepe fee up front.
We've got more money than any other club, right? Chelsea is built on sand, right? As soon as the Russian leader goes, Abramovich will be in trouble, okay? Because all that money comes from corruption, right? Harry Kane...
I'll tell you what, Kieran, there's loads of people want to have a sensible say on it. Harry Kane isn't going to go to Arsenal because he wants to win things. He wants to win serious things, so he ain't never going to go to Arsenal.
He ain't leaving Tottenham for Arsenal. Tottenham finish above Arsenal every year, haven't they? The last 4 or 5, is it?
Yeah, you're right. And if Arsenal were challenging for the title and in the Champions League regularly like they used to be, it might possibly be an option, but it isn't. Rory's a Chelsea fan. Hi, Rory.
Hi, good afternoon. Hiya.
Hiya, what do you want to say?
Well, that last Arsenal fan, I don't know where he is. I really don't know what he's talking about
just
there.
Forget him. Move on.
The only negative for Harry Kane is the fact he's a Tottenham player and he's moved to Chelsea. That is the only negative that he will be thinking of. He will look at Chelsea's squad and say, there's at least 10 of the squad under the age of 23. Out of that squad, there are at least 7 of those players who can supply me with crosses, passes, whatever he wants, he can get from those players. You look at Mount, Pulisic, Ziyech, Havertz, all these players will create chances for Harry Kane. He will stay in London mainly because he's a London lad. His kids, his wife, they're all settled at school. He doesn't need to move home. All he needs to do is change his car from Tottenham sponsor's car to Chelsea sponsor's car.
Yeah, and the colour of his kit. He has to wear a blue one rather than a white one. And it is, people don't underestimate that as well. Yes, I think in an ideal world, he's probably thinking, yeah, I'm a Tottenham fan. Man United, if it was between Man United and Chelsea, Man United is dragging me. But my family, I love living where I live. My family is settled. I've got kids now, you know what I mean? And everything. And Mourinho proved that's not easy, by the way. Living out of an hotel and his family stayed in London.
Yeah.
Now, Harry Kane has got a family. That's the love of his life, his family. Not his football club, it's his family. So he speaks to them about this, and they say, well, listen, if you must leave Tottenham because I prefer you to stay in London. So then the options come down again. Arsenal, whatever that guy said is, they can't afford it. No. They can't afford him. It's 72 million, they had to pay that off over 5 years.
If you're staying in London, the only realistic option for Kane is Chelsea. And you are spot on. His family means more to him than anything else. That is guaranteed. So please, Spurs fans, don't be deluded. Don't rule Chelsea out. This is talkSPORT.